I'm Susan, I'm your intuitive, and this is your intuitive tarot and astrology for the upcoming Scorpio full moon. So we're going to start with Aries. This is your 8th house. We have a 22 degree, so that's an Aquarian degree. So extra emphasis on the fixedness, meaning like it could be full spectrum, full circle, highly aware of your emotion around a situation, especially the 8th house. The 8th house has to do with, for Aries risings, of course, but sun and moon, if you feel so inclined. 8th house is deep healing. It's privacy, it's death, it's mental health. It is how you make your money, other people's resources, including your partner's investments. It's a heavy-hitting house, if I dare say myself. The first card out is the King of Pentacles. This full moon is bringing up, especially if you have areas or degrees, 4 degrees before or after 22, that is going to affect you more than it would any other degree. But either way, there is some sort of securing the bag, securing your money, securing your emotions around money, having seen where you've grown in that area of your life, especially in terms of masculine energy, maybe healing, maybe something comes full circle through anywhere that you've been healing in these areas of your chart. This may also stem from the masculine identity in your lineage, if you're aware of that or have observed it at all. You may notice how and what's been passed down, what is just learned because it's not questioned, but maybe you're starting to question it. Whatever it could be, this is around you're healing around security. You're healing around what it looks like to be taken care of by yourself, maybe even by another. This could be someone offering to give you money, help you with money if you need it, some kind of investment even in yourself for a business venture. This could be someone that you could be meeting around this time, or you're continuing a chat about it, right? You're continuing an agreement perhaps around it. Yep. And it's really important to let this process and not rush it, even if you're like in need of the money. The thing is that Mercury will be squaring exact, I believe, or around exact of the moon. So you just want to be sure, don't move faster because a part of you needs it to get done. A part of it you need it to fulfill some type of insecurity. That's what you're looking at here, is what between now and this opportunity where are you growing? Where are you giving the opportunity to grow at this time? And how do you see that? And what kind of people and what kind of opportunities are you drawing in at this time? And how could you be more sure about your side of things, rather than if you are taking advice or listening to external sources? It's really important that you understand that this security also has to do about your emotional security. Again, if you're investing in something creative or that you've been wanting to try for a while, could be even communication, whatever it is, there is a certain energy about this. And what the Scorpio full moon may be bringing up is just whether this opportunity is right for you or you end up passing it along or it's a test. It is just bringing you closer and closer to that healing, which in turn also may bring some monetary gain in some kind of way. Bottom of the deck was the 8 of Swords. It's perhaps also going to teach you something about yourself and where you intertwine your mental health. That's how that links to your mental health. And with so much in Aries, your mind is very important right now because you rolled ahead. So let's continue with Taurus in your season. This is your 7th house of commitment, one-on-one relationships, one-on-one clients, opponents as well. First card out is the Queen of Wands, the 2 of Cups, and Justice. Some of you may be committing deeper, getting married, perhaps. Whatever it is, it's going to bring more balance to your life. Whatever you are committing to now, it could be a person, of course. It could be an endeavor. It could be more control over the balance of your life because you've learned something about your mind and about the way that your energy works as well. Maybe you realize something and are able to translate it and relate it to your partner, to your clients, to whomever you're working with. Also, for some of you, this could be an opponent or someone who appears to be just off-put by you or triggered by you or can't quite figure you out. Whatever that is, there may be a very balanced conversation that happens and brings harmony to an area or this part of your life that you didn't even think mattered, Taurus. So whatever's happening, it's bringing balance, justice to your life. If this is a legal matter that you had no control over, which we don't, this is you getting results. They look like they're positive results, but of course it's how you deal with it that really is the stress, or what can weigh on you. This could also be for some of you that all this fire brings in a Libra in your life that you're committing to. Perhaps for some of you, maybe getting engaged or furthering your commitment or having really important conversations about the future. Sometimes we don't realize that by not talking about things, they project in other ways, and maybe it's been unhealthy, and now is the time to have those conversations and voice what is going on. Taurus rules the voice, Mercury is in Taurus, and then Scorpio is ruler of the muscular system and the sexual organs, so those instincts. So this is balancing out perhaps some natural instincts that have been harmed by not speaking your voice enough. And it could just be in one relationship, and then you realize it's affected something else in your life perhaps, and it could affect the way that you relate, connect, and the amount of intimacy that you're able to have. That could be perhaps expanding. Okay, Taurus rising, sun, moon, and rising. Gemini, this is for your 6th house of work, Gemini risings, work, health, and pets, for this Gemini and service. There could be Gemini, sun, or moon as well. I'm learning the art of not speaking over myself. The art of ADD, maybe. Air sign, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But but I'm talking to you, Gemini. I'm really happy that I said that to you, of all people. King of Swords. Looks like you need boundaries around work because it's affecting your health, affecting your ability to process information, affecting your ability to create, to transform, affecting your connection to your body, your health, right? The Swords coming up is it's your mental health, or something's been coming to your mind. It's time to address it. There is a certain discipline that you've been wanting to enact. It's now time to do that. However, if you want to wait for the Scorpio moon to go by first, I would recommend it, because the moon may be helping you close up something emotional that's actually been the block. You might be finding them in your dreams, perhaps, or in times of romance. You may feel blocked somehow, and Neptune is bringing you through this, but with Scorpio, excuse me, that is not what I meant. Neptune is bringing you through this in your 11th house. So your community, right? Who you surround yourself with. You may need more discipline in those areas of your life, perhaps. Also around people who you've noticed, and you could probably think of when I say this, when you're around them, you may love them. You may want to be able to be around them, but right now you need boundaries because it really messes with your mind in a way that where you're able, it blocks you. It's a cause of the block, honestly. And so giving yourself this opportunity to be very focused on work or health, whichever one really needs your attention more will then obviously help the other. So process, right? This is a mental boundaries so that you can process if you need to emotionally, because that's where you've been stuck. But really it's not stuck, it's just a lesson you've needed to learn. Because that's how we want to see stuckness. It's just, what is this thing that keeps coming back or keeps coming up? And it's on your mental boundaries also has to do with your masculine energy. So in your work, doesn't matter if you're male or female, in your work, it's asserting those boundaries and being very clear on them. And it's not necessarily needing to have to say them multiple times. It's saying them with authority or being very honest with yourself, which allows you to then translate. And there's just this sureness to it that you're so used to being questioned, and when it's not questioned, you almost kind of worry, but then you realize, no, that's just when you're certain about what you need, right? Right. Okay. Assert yourself a little more, Gemini. That's the emotional experience for you, because then something deeply may process within you and you have that space. So yes, Cancer, 5th house of pleasure, romance, creative energy, children. Oh, I have another King of Pentacles, Cancer. Okay. Maybe you start making money off an adventure, a venture, a side gig, creative energy you didn't think you would. Maybe you meet someone where you feel like you feel so secure around this person. You're able to experience more positive energy in your life, and you're turning a page with how this has affected your ability to make maybe more money. It's deepening this security within yourself. And it's become a very important part of what shaped your identity thus far. Whatever you're working on, you have a sense of, there's also stability, perhaps, if you're working on something creative. Children, you may be ready for children, or feel like that you have the wherewithal to grow financially if you need to. And this energy gives you many dreams to take a look at. For those of you who feel like you've been dreaming, and because of this, whatever you're closing out with the role that you've been playing, perhaps mastering some sort of security in your life, maybe it's your worthiness, you may have many ideas, and that feels like abundance to you. And it's taking that energy and thinking about these ideas perhaps separately and seeing which one feels the most abundant to you. Not to the outside world, not to anyone else's opinion, but to you, Cancer. And that's the beauty of you. I mean, Jupiter is moving into your sign. So if you want to start learning something, learn it now. It could quickly progress. Just saying. You never know. But you do know, especially you. I know that sounded contradicting. It's not. I promise. Leo. Leo, sun, moon, and rising, but especially rising for the 4th house. This is where the Scorpio full moon will be, in your foundations, your parents, your caregivers. Here you are. You may be having a tower moment. This could be about your emotional security too. Something has disrupted your foundations. Maybe it's Mars, maybe it's just all of these squares that are happening, and you feel maybe very vulnerable, like a child, perhaps. For some of you, feeling vulnerable and feeling excited brings a tower moment. People may not expect this of you, but that does not matter what they think about you, Leo. It is what your experience is in your life. And maybe this joy, maybe it's a child that's in your life, yours or not, that is bringing this tower moment, maybe insight. This may be some illuminating something in your foundations, a crack in the foundations, and it can feel very big around this new moon or full moon. I did that. That's right. That's so funny. But it's because it's what's held you up for so long. This crack in the foundation is opening your heart. This is a crack in the heart that is opening for the support that you need now. It is both revealing, illuminating, exposing you to yourself and how and what is being affected in your life. It could, in this, because it's the fixed signs as well, this may feel like a really deep, intense, yet heightened emotion. However, whatever emotion you're having and whatever's moving through you at this time is deeply profound and is changing your life. Wherever you're releasing, wherever, whatever's happening, if there's a Leo bringing in a tower moment, it's really important for this version of you that needs to be out of control for a moment. It's not going to last forever, but it will be very revealing to what you need now, and the part of yourself that needs to shine. Okay, Leo? Deep breaths. Deep breaths. You know, I love this, and I've been an avid meditator for a long time, but I just heard recently something described that if I've heard it, I overlooked it, but I saw it explain that the way that the conscious mind and the subconscious connect is through the breath. So anytime that you need a breath for at least 20 minutes, if you can, and I'm sure you can do anything. You do anything. Virgo, 3rd house, communication, siblings, short-term travel, your day-to-day life. Ooh. I mean, yeah, adventure. You may be more risque with the way that you communicate. You may be communicating something very open-hearted, takes courage. But it takes courage to see, not just to see this dream or this next step in your life, but it also to start to incorporate movement, exercise towards it. If it's not the exact thing, you're working towards it in some kind of way. A vision may be coming to life at this time as well. And you may be processing something greatly in the mind that is allowing you to be a lot more open-hearted, perhaps with the people in your life. And whether they see you as foolish or not, Virgo, does it matter? Does it really matter? What if this is what you've been wanting, waiting for the opening? Doing something on your own, perhaps, just to do it for yourself. Maybe there's an Aries in your life that you must communicate with. Maybe there's an Aries in your life that you're working with, but it could be also all of this Aries in accumulating in the part of your life where you may be deeply healing. Maybe healing is moving forward in this way. You know, Virgo loves to crash the sandcastle and start over, but is it starting over if you've learned the lesson that you've needed to learn? If that's the point. The Scorpio full moon can just be illuminating this very instinctual desire that you want to take action on at this time. Could be something you can't stop thinking about. Who knows? Only you know. It's your adventure, Virgo. All right, Libra. This full moon is in your second house of self-worth, your skill. That's too many cards. Skills, talents, assets, resources. And we have the strength card. Material well-being as well. This full moon is being very direct to the point and does not want to linger. So it seems like so far through the cards and the readings, this has been one of the shortest moon readings, Libra, that I've had. And why am I telling you this? Well, because you know that when you're in your zone and in your mode, things don't have to take long. When you're in the right place, you show up, you get it done, and it's almost like, do I have to work harder? Should I have had, wait, what? No, don't make things harder. That's what we're representing, her hand shutting the lion's mouth. Don't make things harder for yourself. So maybe you do need to do something where you feel so in yourself every day, especially around this full moon, where you have compassion for yourself, because your voice can get you in trouble, and in trouble right now. Maybe, perhaps. Either way, you see a strength in yourself that you didn't see as a strength for a very long time. You may allow yourself to deeply process this strength and be recognized for it. You may need to ask God for strength, some of you, and courage. But either way, there's this realization that you may come to about the infinite, which is above the flower crown. The infinity of unconditional love, and how it just keeps going and making us realize that judgment, although necessary at times, can often block our ability to love more, to receive more, to go on our next adventure. To believe, Scorpio, have the will. You've been managing or healing, revealing, accepting the parts of you that have a certain way of being, certain tendencies. Maybe there's a Leo in your life who has reflected this self-worth to you, and you feel like there's a whole other part of you that you can now tap into, perhaps. Maybe there's a Leo that you're going in on with both of your skills. Maybe you're sharpening your skills by not criticizing, but saying, okay, like, I'm already good at this. How can you add to it? Like, seeing it as in yourself and what you do personally, yet constructively. There's a lot of manifestation energy and money. It requires your strength. Just you. And your receptivity right now. And that natural instinct that you have to care for yourself. Libra. Okay, Scorpio, it's your first house. Identity, self-appearance, vitality. You may feel... There's an extreme here. Some of you will feel lit the fuck up, but then may be very tired. You may feel hungover, right? But it's your party. You can do what you want to. You're like, I love all the Tauruses in my life, but right now I'm having a moment, maybe. You may be having a moment. You may be having a life-changing, life-altering moment for some of you. Especially you Scorpio risings. Card fall that fall. Oh my God, the card that fell out is the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I snort when I laugh real hard. Yeah, passion. You may have renewed vitality, so if you feel tired, you will have a renewed sense of energy. If it's not externally, it will be internally inspired, because something in you is finally shifting, finally coming to an end, a close. And it could be a part of you that feels bored, feels like you need to spice things up, but usually that means we need to learn something new or allow ourselves to be bored. From what I've heard from many creatives other than myself, whom that I've learned from, is that actually a sign of being bored is just you waiting for inspiration. If I could only talk. You're the only one I'm tripping words over. You're waiting for inspiration. That's all. You're like, maybe it's been a while. Well, are you changing? Are you going through something? Are you stuck in a rut? Do you have to actively try something new? This looks like you need to take some action. You're like, I do. Okay, well, maybe it's in a different way. Maybe you've been running around too much and you're close to burnout. Maybe this is burnout for some of you that is bringing you to a place where you need to ground down. This full moon is going to be grounding emotionally, but it's our minds that will need to allow ourselves to go through it and process, because it can be very deep and intense. And because you're a Scorpio, all depending on your degrees, of course. If you're 4 degrees before 22 or 4 degrees after, you will feel this more intensely than others. Or Scorpio placements, if you don't just have a Scorpio rising or sun or moon, taking a look there. But it's a rebirth moment for some of you. And it's an intentional one. So maybe you want to try something new. Maybe you do a ritual. Maybe you go do something creative, or you're in a group of people, whatever it is. Anything that feels healing to you and healing to your creativity and your identity. It could be possible that you reveal something about yourself that you haven't revealed before. No matter what you're learning about your energy levels and your ability to take action, and also learn about inaction. That is one of your battles in this life, honestly. When you learn to harness your energy and take action when you need to in like long spurts. So you may have like 2 weeks where you're on, or a whole month, or just a period of time where you're on. This could be a few days. And then you're like, why? You just need to pull back. That's your strategy. That might be very helpful for you, Scorpios. is that you need to harness your energy, because all that emotion is going to be utilized somewhere. And you may need to work out. You may need to switch up your workout so that you're very present, because when you lack presence, there can be an overdoing or too overcompensating somewhere. So get to know your instincts right now. Trust wherever your emotions are taking you, and allow yourself intention and thoughtfulness around this time. How you're being shaped and you're shaping yourself. Okay, deep breaths. Sagittarius. This moon's in your 12th house. If you haven't been dreaming, you'll be dreaming, perhaps. You'll be dreaming. Oh, you got a lot of cards. I'm sorry. We're going to reshuffle. This is spirituality, dreams, hidden life, hidden enemies, self-sabotage. This is another heavy house. Loss. Ooh, a lot of cards, Sagittarius. If a lot of cards fall again, I will use them, but we're just going to try to keep it. Unless you're just the one that is going to be chatty. I don't know why. This is the most concise moon reading I've done. Okay. And once I said that, cards fell out. 2 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Do you feel like you keep replanning, reconfiguring, and it seems maybe easier for others? Well, first of all, don't compare yourself if you do. Second of all, that's just you getting to know yourself better and getting to know your strategy better, getting to know your plan better, switching the plan when it's needed, right? Maybe there's something that you need to either take out or add to your life, and you just didn't know until now. And around the Scorpio full moon, it's being shown to you, probably mentally, and you may feel caught up in the mind with your emotions. So it may be really important to take a walk, move through your body, and really, maybe if you can, be as intentional as you can that day or during the time of the full moon, because you may have intuition about the longevity that this cycle is moving you through. And it could be really important, intuitive information that you receive. You may have been also, specifically for some of you, not accepting a certain path or a part of you, that the Scorpio full moon allows you to understand what you've been not seeing about this connection and learning to embrace this in some capacity, because it's maybe affecting your ability to connect. I know what I want, I see what I want, but there's something that I keep either adding too much of, something you do is over-promising your energy. Maybe that's the boundary, is that you notice that, okay, maybe you've stopped doing it with other people or in relationships or over-promising money, and now you're seeing it where you do it with yourself. And you may have a negative reaction when you don't get something enough done, but it's really important right now that you not equate what you do externally with your worth and how you're growing this time in your life. Because there's been something subconsciously that you've been having friction with, and it's when you're overworking, it's when you're overdoing, it's when you're over-promising and not being honest with yourself. So this full moon is getting you really honest and clear with right now what it takes for you to move on your goals and your dreams, and how, if you want marriage, for some of you, maybe you've been super non-traditional or not thinking you'd be traditional, and now you're accepting that there are parts of you that are, or vice versa, whatever it may be. Maybe you need to have a discussion if you're in a relationship with someone and this shows up in your relationship perhaps and you weren't expecting it to. So yeah, just taking a look there at this time. It could also show up at work. Work is maybe what reveals it to you, perhaps, or whatever you do for money. On the day-to-day is what I mean. 6th house stuff. All right, Sagittarius. Capricorn. This is for your 11th house. This full moon is in your house of community, good fortune, and your environment. Scorpio is perhaps showing you or bringing you to an emotional height. In your life. Ooh, look at you at the bottom. 8 of Swords, 4 of Wands. Capricorn, what about the way you view your life is actually harmful for you? We had your reading, we talked. If you want to take a look at that, it'll be out the same day as this video. What about holding this together actually harms you and harms your mind and you don't realize it? What do you need to accept about where you're at and build a foundation in a way that is less controlling in the mind but actually more enjoyable? Maybe you actually are accepting that you want to get married, or you're moving in with someone, or you want things to look a certain way, but really what you're avoiding is something that has to do perhaps with your foundations or how you saw things throughout your life and how you've adapted, and your mind is now releasing. This may be a release that you receive one way or another, emotional, but it's actually allowing a deeper sense of freedom in your identity, who you are, and how you accept yourself. And that will cause your environment to either accept you, or you feeling like you're a part of something, or make you realize that maybe it's time to think about moving on. How you add to the situation. So you're both being revealed to something that's been constrained in your mind, and now it's illuminating and healing a part of you that you needed to see. And it will only help gain good fortune and materials moving forward if that is what you're looking for. Gonna keep it short and hopefully sweet. Deep breaths. Aquarius. We're gonna talk about your 10th house, the role that you play in the grand scheme of your life and who you're connected to, as well as your career. That is what this full moon is illuminating for you. Ooh, another strength card, Aquarius. You may be seeing Aquarius risings in your role for the strength that you bring. You may be seen by a Leo specifically. Leo is also opposing your 1st house and the 7th house, and Mercury will be exacting this full moon that is in your 4th house. So you may have a huge revelation around your capacity for strength and to love and to hold space. Aquarius, holding space. Shocker. But this is for your evolution, your capacity to love, and something may be revealed to you and illuminated to you that feels very important. It could be from a Leo, could even be from a Pisces, But I do feel like this is more just about you and how you've been operating in your relationships, in your personal one-on-one connection and your partnership. You also may be revealed the role that you've been playing, and you may have compassion and see how that is helping you develop whatever skills or whatever role you'll be playing next. Maybe this is giving you the strength to see that you can switch things up in your career. You can ask for more. You can handle more. This is your revelation. And maybe that brings a lot of emotion. Maybe that brings a lot of, why didn't I know this? It's actually just the perfect time for you to realize this. Aquarius. Scorpio full moon in an Aquarius degree. There is something really big you're processing through your heart. The support that you need. You may need new shoes. I know that sounds crazy, but some of you may need new shoes and you may need to go get those new shoes, so go get them. Especially if you need them and you need to support your feet more. The moon is the feet, heart, the back. Shining a light on how much you're loved, how much you can love yourself right now from whatever it is that you see and are revealed to. Yeah. All right, Aquarius. Your readings, last but not least. Keep an eye out, it'll be here. Pisces, your 9th house of education, travel, religion, astrology, wisdom and philosophy, publishing. If you want to publish, Pisces risings. Maybe you're thinking about it. Either way, this moon is illuminating this parts of your life. Maybe this is your first, second, third, umpteenth sign that you're aware of to learn something new, read a new book, something you've been drawn to, because you have something to offer that is here, but you're not seeing it clearly. You may have an opportunity to utilize what is here to make a fresh start. Maybe someone offers you some wisdom. Maybe you go and ask for help. Maybe you want to publish. Maybe you want to provide something and put something together, but you need help and guidance, and you go seeking it. Maybe it comes to you. Either way, if you feel distraught, you realize that sometimes whatever it is that you're holding on to actually just needs to be released. So you may have some wisdom and something to share, as well as wanting to learn something new, because it's always nice to be a beginner. But there's something that you have to offer and share that has a lot of value that you've been sitting on, and it's time to utilize it. Maybe there's a book you've been waiting to read. It's time to read it. Maybe it's about money. Maybe you only need to read the first few chapters and all of a sudden you have a great idea and that was the investment. Whatever it is, there's something brewing. There's something brewing around this moon for you. Well, this moon is trining you. Depending on the degrees, you'll feel it more intensely. And next month, Jupiter will start to trine you as well. So maybe this is just preparing you. Maybe there's stuff you need to let go of, and you find that this moon is a cathartic release. You know? Could be, Pisces. It could be. All right, I will do a separate video on the metaphysics, and I hope this full moon serves you well, helps you process emotion where the mental and the emotion come together to deepen your process here, but also clear some space. I'll do, yes, the metaphysics. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the Patreon, where you get all of this to your email. Take a look there. And then I also have shorts up if you would like to take a look deeper or more at what I bring to the table. You can go to my Instagram or TikTok, everything at Venusian Wave, and I'll see you there.